Welcome to the American Dream TV, Selling Atlanta. I'm your host, Rich Sullivan.
And I'm Johanna Sullivan, and we're here in beautiful downtown Senoia, Georgia. This special place is on the National Register for Historic Places.
The film industry is a big part of the economy here, but there's been no bigger production that's had more of an impact here than The Walking Dead.
So join us as we take a tour and show you what it's all about.
Really appreciate the opportunity to be with you today, and I would like to know first a little bit about how you came to Senoia.
Well, my family built a studio here in the late 80s. They had been in the film business for generations in Los Angeles in the special effects industry. At the time in the 80s, there was a pretty robust film industry here in Georgia. So they wanted to build a studio outside of Los Angeles, so they came here. And it's been a huge industry ever since.
And having a really strong background in film, finance, and real estate makes you the perfect person to kind of be involved in the redevelopment of this area.
This little town was the backlot for our studio, which was only a mile away. And so there were 25 or 26 different film and TV shows that were based at the studio over the years that used this town in some way, shape, or form as their backlot. So a lot of films have some piece of film history here. It's been one wild ride, but a lot of fun.
To talk about Senoia is to talk about The Walking Dead. What was the lead up to it arriving here, and what has it been like since?
Every network had turned the show down. AMC bid on it, but did just partial first season. It was a huge hit, and they came to our studio for season 2 when they had to find a permanent production home and set up shop and kind of really get into it.
And new things grew out of it, both in community, but also in real estate.
A lot of fans. I mean, it broke records for viewership. And that translated into Senoia becoming a tourist destination for people from all over the world. They were deliberate in using real places. They filmed on Main Street here for season 3. This was the fictional town of Woodbury, and they ended up staying for 8 years.
One of the big byproducts of The Walking Dead's presence here has been the boost to the economy, but the restaurants have really improved. Nic Norman's, of course, is a big deal.
Greg Nicotero and Norman Reedus are two of the principals in that. There's now 5 Nic Normans. There's over a dozen restaurants in this small, historic little downtown. Having all those tourists coming and needing to eat somewhere helped everybody make it through the first years, and now we're good.
There is an incredible sense of local pride here. What are people proud about Senoia aside from the film industry?
I would say everybody that I know in town shares this sentiment, is our sense of community that's here. This is literally like living in a Norman Rockwell painting. It's like stepping back in time. You know who your neighbors are, you know who all the business owners are in town, they know you. I think it's become so rare that when people come here and they experience it, they want to move here.
April, you're such a great ambassador for the community. Tell us a little bit about you and what drew you and your family to Senoia.
We've been here before it was like it is today. It's booming. There are 150 businesses in town right now, lots of filming. But when we came, it was just a small, quiet little town reminiscent of Mayberry. Something cast a spell on us. It's a mesmerizing, charming little town. Where else in small town USA can you walk down the street and know almost everybody you meet?
Tell us a little bit about being a business owner in Senoia. You own Mess Hall on Main.
In 2020, we had our first opportunity to buy a piece of real estate, which brought us down the road to the middle of Main Street, where we built the first food hall in Coweta County called the Mess Hall. And we had the opportunity to finish our apartment above, which has kind of been a dream of ours.
Tell us a little bit about the development and the growth that the film industry's brought to the town of Senoia.
Even when it was a small, slow town, you know, it was used for a lot of filming, but of course that exploded with The Walking Dead. It was so fun to be a part of that. I mean, we did everything from catering orders, we would do coffee orders of like 100 coffees at a time. We got to meet a lot of the actors and, you know, had people coming in from all over the world touring our cute little towns. That was mind-blowing to me.
So April, we are sitting in your beautiful, amazing loft. What has been your inspiration?
The space itself is just kind of cool and unique. This is a historic building, so obviously I wanted it to feel historic in a sense. I don't want it to just be completely modern, so I tried to kind of fuse some modern touches with also some history in here.
I think this is probably my favorite thing in your loft.
It's definitely the conversation piece when people come over, but these are some of my grandparents' and great-grandparents' letters from World War I and World War II to each other, their correspondence.
It's so beautiful and so special. What a treasure. Thanks for joining us today here in Senoia, Georgia, home of The Walking Dead and also known as Yollywood.
We had a great time here, and we will see you next time on the American Dream TV, Selling Atlanta.